Looking good, guys. Fantastic, Mr. Fox. Disgusting, Mr. Twit. Very, very good. Are you ready?
Yes!
Giant Bugs, you ready?
Ready!
Puffin Reporter, are you ready?
Ready!
Adrian, are you ready?
What? No, I'm not quite ready.
Then let the countdown for the Roald Dahl Day Show 2018 begin! 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy Roald Dahl Day, everyone! Today you're watching with schools around the world, and we can promise you that today's show will be more giant and juicy than James's giant peach. There'll be music, there'll be magic, and there'll be some drawing, so make sure you got your pens and papers ready. Now, wiggle like an earthworm in your seats. That's right, you lot as well. We're going to start the show with a quick game of true or false. Keep wiggling, yep, and you as well. To help us out, it's over to our Puffin reporter, Aisha.
Raise your arms if you think it's true. Touch your nose if you think it's false.
You got that? If you think it's true, wave your arms. If you think it's false, touch your nose. OK, first question.
True or false, Roald Dahl was born on the 13th of September.
What do you think? Oh, there's a lot of people with their arms in the air here. Well, it is true! Well done, guys. OK, next question.
True or false, a ladybird is part of the beetle family.
So what do you reckon? Well, it's true! OK, last question now.
True or false, in James and the Giant Peach, the grasshopper plays the recorder.
That's right. Well, actually, it's false because the grasshopper, of course, plays the violin. Let us know how you did and send in your school shout-outs using hashtag Roald Dahl Show, and you could see it along the bottom of the screen. How did I end up here? Anyway, Roald Dahl was not just an author, he was a fighter pilot, spy, and even a chocolate tester. Today you're going to learn more about his life and how he wrote his stories. To tell you more, we've called in the experts. Please welcome into your classrooms Rachel from the Roald Dahl Museum and Story Centre.
Hello.
That sounds like a pretty cool job.
It's amazing, it's really good.
So what's at the museum?
What's at the museum? We've got Roald Dahl's original drafts of his books, including all the original ideas he had for his stories, and some also quite cool stuff that he owned which inspired some of his thoughts and stories.
What have you got to show us?
Well, first thing I have this. Now this was given to him by a child who'd read one of his books. Now can you guess which book it might have been?
Is it Trot, the one about the tortoise?
No, not quite.
I'm only joking. Is it James and the Giant Peach?
Yeah, it is. Great Green Grasshopper. So he kept this on the desk in his writing hut where he wrote all of his stories, and he surrounded himself with lots of weird and wonderful objects to kind of inspire himself as he's writing. He always used yellow paper with yellow pencils, and that's what he did with all of his stories.
Same? He had to write on the same type of paper with exactly the same pencil?
Yes. He had this routine going where he just did exactly the same thing.
Oh, so he found that helped him write, have a bit of a routine.
It did, yeah, definitely. So what I've got here to show you is first draft pages from James and the Giant Peach.
Oh, wow.
As you probably have guessed it. So these are some pages about how the glowworm lights the floating cherry, not the giant peach originally. He actually started off with a cherry, and he actually thought of different fruits to use. He thought about an apple, a pear, a plum, anything that could grow. But eventually he decided to go for a peach because it has a furry skin, it's got nice golden inside, and it's got a knobbly stone in the middle, and he could do some fun with this.
Wow, so he actually wrote...
He actually wrote on those bits of paper, yeah.
Touched this, that's amazing, isn't it? James and the Giant Cherry. Doesn't have quite the same ring, does it?
Well, I don't know, yeah. I kind of like the peach now, I think.
Yeah. Now, hands up in your classrooms, who's read James and the Giant Peach? Yeah? Some of you? Well, if you haven't, you really should. It's about a little boy who suddenly discovers a giant peach in his garden and goes on an adventure with 7 giant insects. To tell you more, here are a few of its stars. Swiggle your ears, because after the video, I want to know, what bird does James want to use to save the giant peach?
Hello?
It is time to tell you one of our most gigantically exciting tales.
Yes, we were quite happily bobbing along on our peach when suddenly we were attacked by fearsome, frightful peach-chomping sharks.
We thought we were for it, but then our friend James came up with an ingenious plan.
There is something we might try, James Henry Trotter said slowly. I'm not saying it'll work.
Tell us, cried the earthworm. Tell us, quick!
We'll try anything you say, said the centipede, but hurry, hurry, hurry.
Be quiet and let the boy speak, said the ladybird. Go on, James.
They all moved a little closer to him. There was a longish pause.
Go
on, they cried frantically. Go on!
And all the time, while they were waiting, they could hear the sharks thrashing around in the water below them. It was enough to make anyone frantic.
Oh, come on, James, said the ladybird, coaxing him.
I'm afraid it's no good after all, James murmured, shaking his head. I'm terribly sorry. I forgot. We don't have any string. We'd need hundreds of yards of string to make this work.
What sort of string? Asked the old green grasshopper sharply.
Any sort, just so long as it's strong.
But my dear boy, that's exactly what we do have. We've got all you want.
How? Where?
The silkworm. Didn't you ever notice the silkworm? She's still downstairs. She never moves. She just lies there sleeping all day long. We can easily wake her up and make her spin.
And what about me, may I ask? Said Miss Spider. I can spin just as well as any silkworm. What's more, I can spin patterns.
Can you make enough between you? James asked.
As much as you want.
And quickly?
Of course, of course.
And would it be strong?
Oh, the strongest there is. It's thick as your finger. But why? What are you going to do?
I'm going to lift this peach clear out of the water, James announced firmly.
You're mad, cried the earthworm.
It's our only chance.
The boy's crazy.
He's joking.
Oh, go on, James, the ladybird said gently. How are you going to do it?
Sky hooks, I suppose.
Jeered the centipede.
Seagulls, James answered calmly. The place is full of them. Look up there.
And they all looked up and saw a great mass of seagulls wheeling round and round in the sky.
I'm going to take a long silk string, James went on, and I'm going to loop one end of it round a seagull's neck. And then I'm going to tie the other end to the stem of the peach. He pointed to the peach stem, which was standing up like a short, thick mast in the middle of the deck. Then I'm going to get another seagull and do the same thing again. And then another and another.
Ridiculous!
They shouted. Absurd!
Poppycock!
Balderdash!
Madness!
And the old green grasshopper said, how can a few seagulls lift an enormous thing like this up into the air and all of us as well? It would take hundreds, thousands.
There's no shortage of seagulls, James answered. Look for yourself. We'll probably need 400, 500, 600, maybe even 1,000. I don't know. I shall simply go on hooking them up to the stem until we have enough to lift us. They'll be bound to lift us in the end.
Were you listening carefully in your classroom? Let's find out. What's going to save the giant peach? What is it? You.
Seagulls.
Correct. And well done if you got that right out there as well. We'll be seeing more from the giant bugs later in the show. Now, if you've got your party pack, you might have spotted the Bug Buddies competition. To enter, you have to invent a new bug to travel on the giant peach and say why they should join. Will it be a woodlouse, or a butterfly, or maybe something else? It'll be judged by a real book designer from Puffin and an expert from the Natural History Museum, London. And if anyone knows about bugs, they do. Now, here to set your imagination whizzing and share some of his creative writing tips inspired by Roald Dahl is the hilarious author, Adrian Edmondson.
Hi, good morning. Thank you very much.
Sorry, Adrian, there's children all over your chair.
This is my chair. There's some people in there. Get out of it. Thank you very much.
You shouldn't sit in there. He's a famous author.
I've got a big bottom and I need a big chair.
Now, some of you might have read Adrian's fantastically funny books, Tilly and the Time Machine and Junkyard Jack and the Horse That Talked. Happy Roald Dahl Day, Aid.
Why, thank you very much. Isn't it a brilliant day?
It is. Do you say Happy Roald Dahl Day or Whizzing Roald Dahl Day? Or...
Delumptious Roald Dahl Day.
Oh, that's a good word. I like that.
I'm such a big fan of Roald Dahl.
He's great, isn't he?
And always have been. And
so if you like Roald Dahl, what's What's your favourite Roald Dahl book?
I think without doubt, BFG. I used to read it to my kids when they were very small, and I always imagined that I was good at reading it out loud. So that's the one I read it to them a lot.
And like Roald Dahl's book, James and the Giant Peach, you've got lots of crazy characters in Junkyard Jack.
I've got lots of talking animals, yes. Yeah.
Tell us about them.
I mean, he's got a lot of talking animals in James and the Giant Peach, and in my book, all animals can talk as well. They just don't. So they've got a kind of secret code. Animals have got a secret code. And it's slightly based on one of my daughters. She used to have a pony, because the main character of mine is a talking Shetland pony. And my daughter had a little kind of white Welsh mountain pony. And she always used to imagine that it was talking to her. That, you know that feeling if you've got a dog or a cat or something, sometimes you look at it and think, it is trying to communicate with me, isn't it?
Yeah.
It could be talking. And that sort of thing you do with your teddy. Sometimes you hold your teddy and you make it talk. Do you ever do that? Yeah. Yeah, everyone sort of makes things talk. So sort of the idea of talking animals is always...
So you like assigning personalities to animals?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, could you teach us about how to do that if you're writing?
I can try to teach.
Okay, well, we've got lots of different animals, insects in Wurzel here.
Marvin,
this is cutting edge
Wurzel.
technology.
Yeah,
Wurzel.
it looks
Could somebody
marvellous.
fire Wurzel up for us? Who'd like to do that?
Me.
Yeah, you. No, sorry, Adrian, it's too technical for you.
You're Plunger Man.
Okay.
Well done.
Let's see what you got, Plunger Man. Lots to choose from. Squirrel.
It's a squirrel.
So how would you assign a personality to a squirrel?
Well, a lot of people think squirrels are quite cute, don't they? But I've actually got a squirrel in my book, and he's not cute. He's has anyone read Beatrix Potter? And you know that she's got a squirrel called Squirrel Nutkin, who's kind of quite fluffy and cute.
I remember Squirrel Nutkin.
But mine's called Squirrel Nutcase, because he's a bit kind of grumpy and stupid. And that's I think if you're writing animal characters, always go against the grain of what's expected.
Yeah, because people normally think squirrels are cute and
Yeah.
fluffy. You made them grumpy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try another one.
Grumpy and pompous. Who's playing those bongos? They're very good, aren't they?
Oh yeah, that was me who recorded it earlier. Grasshopper.
So grasshopper.
Ah, just like James the Giant Peach.
Yeah. Grasshoppers are fascinating looking things, aren't
They
they?
are, aren't they?
Isn't that weird?
And what personality would you give it?
Well, it's very hard, isn't it? Because, I mean, I don't know if anyone knows any grasshoppers. They're quite hard to imagine as humans, aren't they? I think you have to try and get human characteristics into animals when you write them. So I think because they can jump very far and quite quickly, you'd make him into a kind of impatient character who always needed to be somewhere very quickly and was always late. That sounds like a good idea for a grasshopper.
Like a businessman.
Yeah, businessman on his way to the office, doing something boring. I've got to get there very quickly to do the boring thing I do. And I'm going to go home very quickly.
Right, I think we've got one last animal. Let's make it a good one. Come on, Wurzel. Hedgehog.
Hedgehog. I love hedgehogs. I've got a hedgehog in my book as well. I've got nearly all the animals in my book. I think hedgehogs are mostly kind of sleepy, aren't they? And I made mine a sleepy one. He gets asked how he knows when to hibernate at one point. And he says, I just feel very, very, very tired.
So they just reminded you of an old man?
Yeah. I think, because they kind of dawdle about the place, don't they? Snuffling about at the bottom of hedgerows.
We've got some great writing tips there. Thank you very much, Adrian. Let's give a big round of applause.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming in. And will you stick around? Because
I will
we've got
stick
lots
around,
of silly
lovely.
things for you to do.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that maybe...
What?
Oh, no. You know what that means? Someone's locked in the library!
No!
Let's find out who's inside!
This is so cool. Have you ever been locked in a library before?
Actually, no.
You haven't?
I'm not gonna lie.
We should probably introduce ourselves. So, this is will.i.am. He's a musician, an artist, an entrepreneur, and a philanthropist, but most importantly, my friend.
And this is Brian David Johnson, who is a futurist. He's my friend, and I'm tripping right now because if he was a futurist, he would have known that we were gonna get locked in the library.
Or maybe I did know. So as a futurist, I look 10 years out into the future and figure out what people want to do with technology and with trends, and then I figure out how they need to get there. And together, we wrote a book called Wizards and Robots.
Yes, it is incredible. It's been 6 years since we've started it. And that goes to all you folks. Sometimes it takes things a little longer than normal to see things manifest to reality. And we've seen it through, and now you should pick it up and check it out because it's an amazing book.
It's about wizards and robots, and we wrote it for you because you're the next generation. You will actually build our future. Now, Will, the only way we're going to get out of this library is to escape into books. So which book are you going to escape into?
My favorite book growing up is this one right here, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I like the film as well, but the book is better.
And I'm going to escape into Matilda. Why wouldn't you want to escape into Matilda? You could do the pranks, you understand her powers. This is why I want to go into that one.
My favorite character in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is Mike TV.
All right. Is it really?
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, happy Roald Dahl Day.
Wow, imagine meeting will.i.am in your local library. How cool would that be? Now, who knows who illustrates Roald Dahl's books? It is, of course, the incredible Quentin Blake. And today we're very lucky because Quentin has set us a giant art challenge. So get your pencils and paper ready. He sent us some very important instructions that we must follow and some photos to help us as well. So let's see if you can guess what we're drawing. First, everybody needs to draw a circle. Well, most of a circle, maybe leave a little bit, yeah. Then a nose and spectacles. Okay, I think I can do that. Two eyes to look over the top of the spectacles. I've just about left enough space for mine. And then a big wobbly smile. Oh, mine's super wobbly. Okay, I'm quite pleased with that. If you draw a Panama hat, then a wobbly line like that. And then, at the top of the hat, a little hat band. And after that, if you want, a bow tie. Oh, it's a big one, that, isn't it? Wouldn't want to get caught in a wind tunnel wearing that. Right. And then we want to draw the rest of it. So, make sure it's nice and long. Oh, these are coming on well. So have you got any idea what we might be drawing?
Centipede.
Yes! Oh, I thought you might say worm. Yeah, centipede. Now the next bit takes a long time because he's a centipede. So he's got 100 feet. Well, actually, he's only got 42 feet, but Quentin thinks the easiest thing to do is draw the boots first and then the legs afterwards. So you've got to draw 21 boots on one side and 21 boots on the other.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah. Okay. Actually, what am I doing? This is going to take ages. I've only drawn one boot. Maybe you can finish yours after the show. So a huge thank you to Quentin Blake for all the magic he brings to Roald Dahl stories. And you can tweet pictures of your centipedes to @PuffinBooks using the hashtag Roald Dahl Show. And we'll share them with him. Now time for the news.
The Puffin News headlines. Bong! Former Olympian Miss Agatha Trunchbull makes shock career move to become head teacher at Cruncham Hall Primary School. She said her motto will be children should be seen, and not heard. Bong! A leak at Willy Wonka's infamous chocolate factory has turned all the water in the world slightly chocolatey. Whipple scrumptious. Bong! And odious entrepreneurs Aunt Sponge and Aunt Spiker have been squashed by their own giant peach. Even when pressed for a statement, there was no comment. Bong! And now, have you ever seen a giant spider behind the toilet? Well, enormous insects have been sighted in London, England. And reporting from the scene, it's Aisha.
Puffin reporter Aisha here, live from the Natural History Museum, where there's been sights of giant bugs who may or may not have travelled with James and the giant peach. Inside this building, there's dinosaur fossils and rocks older than your oldest teacher. This whale skeleton is 25.2 meters long, and blue whales are the biggest creatures on this planet. Just imagine a peach as big as that. Excuse me, do you know where I'll find a giant bug? Follow me. New things are still getting added to the Natural History Museum collections. Lots of scientists come here to do their own research about how creatures evolve and change over time. Here's one of them right now. What do you do?
Hi, I'm Beulah, and I'm a senior curator and researcher here at the museum.
What's in all these weird drawers?
A very good question. There are thousands and thousands of beetles in these drawers in our collection here at the Natural History Museum. Mostly in this drawer is the 7-spot ladybird, which is the ladybird which was in James and the Giant Peach, right? And you can see that they're really, really different. Lots of different colour patterns, lots of variety. And in the UK, there are about 46 species, but in the world, there are 5,000.
Oh, well, why do ladybirds have to have spots on?
That's a really good question too. So the spots help them to survive in nature, because actually beetles are also bird food, for example. Lots of other animals will eat beetles. And if you were a bird and you saw something that was really bright red with lots of black spots on it, you might think that it was a really scary animal and you wouldn't want to eat it. And so that's why ladybirds are so successful in nature, is because they're able to protect themselves from other animals that want to eat them.
Is there any bigger bugs in this museum?
Oh yeah, there really are, and I think our resident spider expert may be able to help you, and she's over there.
This is more like it. Who are you?
Well, I'm Jan Beccaloni and I work here at the museum, and I'm the curator of arachnids, which includes spiders, I've got some here, and scorpions and other things with 8 legs and 2 body parts.
Oh, how strong is a spider web?
Actually, you know something? It's really, really strong. It's actually stronger than steel if you would compare both together. I've got some silk here that's come out of a spider's web. Now you pull on that and just see how tough that is. You can see how it's become such a good material to catch things that are flying, to trap them.
Is this one of the big spiders?
It is actually. Shall I get it out the jar to show you?
Yeah, it looks like it has 20 eyes.
So this is the Goliath bird-eating spider. It's not the largest specimen in the world, but it's the largest species. Well, it's the heaviest species, but it's also got quite long legs.
That's awesome. Do you know where I can find the ink sets from James and the Giant Peach?
Well, according to the story, oh yes, the Peach has just rolled off the cliffs of Dover and is headed across the Atlantic.
Of course. Next up, New York. I've been Puffin reporter Aisha here, live from Natural History Museum. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Aisha. Great bug-related reporting there. one of the best in the business. Now we're back with Rachel, who's found a few more treasures belonging to Roald Dahl. So what have you got for me?
So I have what looks like an ordinary plastic box, but in fact this is Roald Dahl's chocolate box. Now at the end of every meal in his house, this will be on the table and it'll be filled with chocolate. So Aeros and Maltesers and Smarties and Flakes, and it'll get handed around the table for everybody to choose their favourite chocolate. One thing you might not know is that he used to be a chocolate taster when he was at school. Yeah, I know, amazing. So all the children in his class would be given a box of chocolates and they'd have to mark each one out of 10 and give a little comment. And that's what gave him the idea for Willy Wonka and his chocolate factory, the great chocolate inventor.
Oh, and didn't Miss Trunchbull have a chocolate box in her house?
She did. That actually brings me really neatly on to the next thing I was going to show you, which is just here. Now, this is from his ideas book. He kept lots of ideas in a notebook and he'd scribble down ideas for stories and he'd go back and work out. This one is about a boy who can move things with the power of his mind. Can you think what book that might be from?
A boy who can move things
A
with the power
boy
of
who
his
can
mind.
move things with the power of his mind.
I know one about a girl, but I don't know one about a boy.
You're very close. So, Matilda.
Oh, Matilda.
It was Matilda, yes. So he was fascinated by the idea of a child who was brilliant, but could sort of very, very small. And she was a brilliant reader. She was a reader of books and things. But she also had this amazing power of being able to move things with her mind. So this is the original story for that.
Ah, so why did he turn the boy into a girl?
Well, he figured that he had lots of boy characters already. And he thought, well, actually, half my readers are girls, so let's make my next character a girl. And
Makes sense.
Right. Makes sense.
Thanks, Rachel. That was a real treat.
It's a pleasure.
Matilda's stories inspired readers from around the world, and here to tell us more about what makes her so special, we have one last guest.
Hey everyone, I'm Amazing Arabella. I'm a vlogger and I love learning new things and meeting cool people. I just reread Matilda by Roald Dahl. It's about a little girl who loves books. Matilda's pretty awesome, and here are some things I've learned from her. Make time for books and new ideas. Matilda loves books. By the time she starts school, she's already read The Secret Garden, Great Expectations, Nicholas Nickleby, Oliver Twist, Jane Eyre, Pride and Prejudice, Best of the D'Urberville, Kim, The Invisible Man, Animal Farm, and The Red Thing. She loves books because they transported her into new worlds and introduced her to amazing people who live exciting lives. Even if you're busy with football clubs, ballet classes, or playing games, make time to read so you can discover new dreams and ideas. You should also make time for cake. Any cake because it's delicious. Just make sure it doesn't belong to the Trunchbull. Remember what happened to Bruce Bogtrotter? And remember to stand by your friend. Hey everyone! This is very important. All Matilda wants is friends like the characters in her book, so when she goes to school, she finds them. Unfortunately, the head teacher, Miss Trunchbull, is a terror and even throws pupils by the pigtails across the playground. Hopefully that's not happening where you are, but bullies come in all shapes and sizes. Make sure you and your friends stick by each other, and also remember you can talk to a trusted grown-up if you need to. Friends also come in all shapes and sizes too, so stick by them. Spoiler alert, Matilda and her friends come up with a way to trick Miss Trunchbull. Sometimes you have to make a little mischief to change the world. By believing in herself, Matilda changes the story. If you've got an idea, then be confident. What you think matters and you can make it happen. If Matilda can do it, so can you. What do you guys think Matilda would be doing if Roald Dahl wrote another book? Perhaps she would be an author or an activist fighting for what she believes in, or even a vlogger. The Amazing Matilda? What do you guys think? I'll see you guys later, so bye!
Awesome stuff. Well, that's all we've got time for today. Thanks for watching, and thanks to our guests, Adrian.
Thank you very much for having me.
Rachel.
Thank you.
And Plunger Man. May your dreams tonight be filled with giant peaches, big friendly giants, and rivers of chocolate. Good luck with your entries for the Bug Buddy competition, and just in case you need any more inspiration, we're going to end the show with a song performed at the Natural History Museum London by the Giant Bugs. Until next year, happy Roald Dahl Day! Bye!
To make your little minds up and choose today which one of us is best. The spider who's a scaredy cat, or some old creaking cricket?
How dare you!
Or are you just astute enough to choose a pest? But before you ask, I know what you are thinking. Oh look, he's got 100 pairs of feet.
42?
That's totally terrific. I wonder what they do. I'm betting some amazing athletes. Can he run so fast? Can he kick 100 footballs? Can he jump the widest river in one go? Can he do the can or dance a lovely waltz? Well, the answer here, of course, my friends, is no. I'm a pest, yes. I'm totally useless, I have to confess. A pest, yes. About as much use as a pig in a dress. So why would you choose a massive great loser with 120 legs?
He's only got 42 legs.
Well, if you're down, fed up, gloomy and glum, and you need a companion who is really, really fun, then I guess I'll suggest that it's surely for the best. If you need a splendid jest, you should probably choose the pest. Pests are best, right? Pests are best. Come on, pests are best. Pests are best. Louder. Pests are best. You can do it. Pests are best. Pests. Do I capture flies?
No.
Do I pollinate your flowers?
No.
Do I clear your runner beans of snails and slugs?
Oh, no.
Do I till the earth?
No.
Just like the humble earthworm?
No.
Am I the most unemployable of bugs?
No.
I mean, yes.
So what's the point of choosing someone useless? There's helpful bugs for every kind of need. Well, there's more to life than the drudgery of work. There's fun and games and silly names and sea and beaches, giant peaches, jokes and japes and crazy apes. There's so much fun for everyone. That's what you get if you choose the centipede. That's me. Choose the pest, yes. I'm totally useless, I have to confess. A pest, yes. About as much use as a pig in a dress. So why would you choose a massive great loser with 140 legs?
He's only got 42 legs. 42!
Well, if you're down, fed up, gloomy and glum, and you need a companion who is really, really fun, then I guess I'll suggest that it's surely for the best. If you need a splendid jest, you should probably choose